Welcome to this safety training explainer. Whether you're a site worker, an operator on the floor, a supervisor, a manager, an engineer, or contractor working right here in Malaysia, well, this explainer is built specifically for you. Today, we're going to look really closely at how we protect ourselves and our work family from harm. So, let's just dive right in.
Before we get bogged down in all the rules and regulations, I want to show you a foundational safety concept. It's called the Heinrich triangle. And we're going to start right at the bottom with the number 300. Now, this number represents the hundreds of near misses, the thousands of unsafe conditions, and all those little ignored warnings that happen on a site every single year. You know the ones. They're the little things we literally just walk past every single day without giving a second thought.
But here's the thing. Notice how those small things start to add up and escalate as we move up the triangle? If we just ignore those 300 warnings at the base, the math shows us they escalate into 29 serious injury accidents. Suddenly, the danger becomes very real and actual people get seriously hurt. And ultimately, at the very peak of that triangle, those ignored warnings result in one fatal accident. Just let that sink in for a second. One fatal accident means someone isn't going home to their family today. Right now in Malaysia, our workplace fatality rate is currently 4.3 per 100,000 workers, which honestly is significantly above places like Singapore or the UK. To make sure that one fatal accident never happens here on our watch, we absolutely have to start paying attention to the bottom of the triangle. So here is our safety journey for part 1 of this training explainer. We'll cover 1. The hidden dangers, 2. Defining workplace incidents, 3. Malaysia's safety law, NADOPOD, 4. A tragic lesson, and finally, 5. Breaking the silence. Section 1. The hidden dangers. Let's look at a massive problem we face right here in Malaysia. According to NIOS Malaysia, a staggering 90% of near misses in our workplaces are completely ignored and never reported. Just look at that massive slice on the chart. That is a critical safety gap. While DOSH Malaysia receives around 60,000 accident notifications a year, the actual injuries and incidents are estimated to be so much higher. The fact that 90% of near misses go totally unreported is exactly why fatal accidents keep happening. Look, every single unreported near miss is a missed chance to prevent a serious disaster. Section 2, Defining workplace incidents. To fix this reporting crisis, we first need to understand exactly what we're looking for on the ground. First up is an accident. In simple terms, an accident is an unplanned, unintended event that has already caused actual harm. We're talking about personal injury and occupational illness, damage to property and equipment, or even environmental harm. Basically, the damage is done and the harm is very real. Next is a near miss. Now, this is an unplanned event that did not cause harm, but easily could have under slightly different circumstances. Sometimes we call this a lucky escape. Think of a worker almost stepping on a nail, but noticing it just in the nick of time, or an electrical cable found sparking where no one was burned simply because someone noticed it quickly. Those are near misses. This example brilliantly illustrates the difference. On one side, a load falls from a forklift and crushes a worker's foot. That is an accident. On the other side, a load falls from a forklift, but nobody was in the path. That is a near miss. You see, near misses are incredibly valuable because they give us a free pass, a chance to fix the system, like maybe the way a forklift is being loaded, before someone actually gets hurt the next time around. Lastly, we have a dangerous occurrence. This is a major, catastrophic event. Think of a crane failing, a scaffold suddenly collapsing, or a massive explosion. Even if miraculously no one was injured at all, these are severe events with the potential to cause multiple deaths. Section 3, Malaysia's safety law, NADOPOD. Okay, so now that we know what these events are, we really need to understand our legal responsibility here in Malaysia, because it's not just about doing the right thing, it is the law. Under the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1994, or OSHA 1994, there's a legal framework called NADOPOD. That stands for Notification and Report of Accidents, Dangerous Occurrences, Occupational Poisoning, and Occupational Diseases. The crucial takeaway here is that NADOPOD strictly requires employers to notify DOSH Malaysia when specific incidents happen. And yes, non-compliance is a criminal offense. Specifically, the law demands that we report any fatalities, serious bodily injuries, dangerous occurrences like a building collapse or an explosion, and occupational poisoning and diseases. In Malaysia, occupational diseases can include things like noise-induced hearing loss from the factory floor, occupational asthma, or even leptospirosis for flood cleanup workers. Let's look at how this builds into actionable timelines. And for all the supervisors, managers, and contractors tuning in right now, these are the critical NATOPOD timelines you absolutely must remember to avoid heavy fines or even imprisonment. From day 0 of the incident, you have exactly 7 days to report deaths, dangerous occurrences, or occupational diseases to DOSH. And you have 10 days to notify DOSH for non-fatal injuries that result in an absence of 4 or more consecutive days. Failing to report carries a penalty of up to a 50,000 ringgit fine and up to 5 years imprisonment for a first offense. For subsequent offenses, it jumps to 150,000 ringgit and 7 years in prison. And just to be clear, individual managers can be personally charged, not just the company.
Section 4, a tragic lesson. To really deeply understand why these laws and reporting timelines exist, let's look at a tragic real-life case from Pulau Penang back in 2022. At a factory in Penang, there were at least 15 near-miss incidents over a 6-month period. These incidents involved the exact same forklift and pedestrian workers in the exact same area. Workers had informally complained among themselves, sure, but nobody formally reported them. So the near misses simply came and went.
Because those 15 lucky escapes were completely ignored. On the 7th month, a worker was fatally struck by that exact forklift. Investigations later revealed that pedestrian lanes weren't properly marked and the forklift had a blocked driver view with certain loads. Look, if just one of those 15 near misses had been formally reported, investigated, and acted upon, the hazard would have been fixed and this tragedy would never have happened. Remember, a near miss is just an accident that happened to miss. The next time it might not miss.
Section 5, breaking the silence. We really have to ask ourselves, honestly, why do we stay silent when we see these hazards? What's holding us back? Well, research in Malaysian workplaces shows several clear reasons. Often we don't report because of the fear of being blamed or facing disciplinary action. Then there's the cultural teed-up-a-paw attitude, where we just brush it off saying, it doesn't matter, nothing bad actually happened. There's also peer pressure from colleagues who might label you a troublemaker. Add to that the language barriers for our foreign workers who simply may not know how to speak up, or who fear immigration consequences. And finally, there's a distrust of management, that lingering feeling that even if I do report this, nothing is actually going to change.
But listen, if we want everyone, every single member of our work family to go home safely to their families at the end of the day, we absolutely must overcome these barriers. We have to shift our mindset from staying quiet to actively looking out for one another. Did you know that workplaces with active near-miss reporting programs actually have 65% fewer serious accidents? That is a massive difference. So, remember this absolutely crucial point as we wrap up part 1. Reporting is never about finding someone to punish or blame. It is entirely about learning, improving, and preventing your friend or colleague from getting hurt tomorrow. And that mindset shift perfectly sets us up for part 2, where we'll cover exactly how to make these reports, what specific information is needed, and how we as a team can create a culture where everyone feels completely safe to speak up. So I'll leave you with this question. What near miss did you walk past today, and will you be the one brave enough to report it before it turns into a tragedy?
Okay, let's dive right back into this explainer. This is part 2 of our workplace safety training for Capital Kirana. We've already covered all the background context in part 1, so today we're jumping straight into the practical stuff. If an incident or even a near miss happens on the floor, you need to know exactly what to do the very next second. So let's get to work.
All right, so here are the 5 immediate steps you absolutely must take. First up, make it safe. Before you do anything else, isolate the hazard and treat any injuries. Second, you have to verbally notify your supervisor immediately. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a strict legal duty under OSHA 1994. Third, get medical attention. Look, even if a chemical exposure seems minor right now, symptoms can be delayed, so don't risk it. Fourth, preserve the scene. Unless you're moving something for immediate safety, leave the equipment exactly as is. And finally, step 5, complete that report form within 24 hours while the details are still completely fresh in your mind.
Now, when you actually sit down to fill out that incident report, you have to be highly specific. Think of it like you're giving the investigators the exact puzzle pieces they need. You've got to document who is involved, what happened step by step, the exact where and when, and exactly how it all unfolded. You also need to note why it happened if you know it, list out all the witnesses, detail any injuries, and definitely record any immediate actions that were taken at the scene. Basically, just don't leave blanks.
So you might be wondering, how do we figure out the why part of that report? Well, we use a brilliantly simple root cause analysis tool called the 5 Whys. It was originally created by Toyota and is now widely used across world-class Malaysian manufacturing, and it works exactly like it sounds, by asking why repeatedly, usually about 5 times. It literally forces us past those easy surface-level symptoms to find the actual underlying system failure.
Let's look at a real Malaysian workplace incident to see how this actually plays out. Here's the scenario. A worker slipped on a workshop floor and fractured his wrist. So our first question is simple, right? Why did the worker slip? Well, the immediate surface-level answer is just that the workshop floor was oily.
Now, if we stopped right there and just grabbed a mop, guess what? The accident would definitely happen again. So we ask our second why. Why was the floor oily in the first place? An investigation reveals that oil had leaked out from a worn hydraulic fitting on a nearby CNC machine. We keep digging. Why did the oil leak? Because the fitting was worn. So, why hadn't this worn fitting been replaced during regular safety checks? The answer to our fourth why is that the preventative maintenance schedule actually didn't even include an inspection for this specific hydraulic fitting. And this is where it gets really interesting, and it brilliantly illustrates the power of this tool. For our final why, we ask, why did the maintenance schedule omit this critical check? Boom, we uncover the true root cause. The schedule was written way back in 2010 and had literally never been reviewed. So the real corrective action isn't just cleaning up some oil, it's updating the entire system.
So, the crucial takeaway here is this: we must fix the system, not the symptom. We use these incident reports to uncover those hidden failures. We do not use them to just find a person to blame.
And that actually leads us directly into how world-class organizations operate. Big companies here in Malaysia like Petronas and Simi Darby successfully use what are called just culture models. In a true no-blame culture, reports are actively welcomed. The system distinguishes honest mistakes from deliberate violations, it ensures near-miss reporters are completely protected from punishment, and it drives actual tangible improvement. Just remember, safety performance only improves when near misses are reported, absolutely never when they're hidden.
Now, we also have to acknowledge some very real barriers here. Malaysia has millions of foreign workers from places like Bangladesh, Indonesia, Nepal, and Myanmar. And naturally, many of them face language barriers or even fear immigration consequences if they speak up. But hear this loud and clear. Employers have a strict legal duty under OSHA 1994 to overcome this. They are required to provide reporting mechanisms in workers' home languages, offer translation support, and guarantee full SOSCO medical coverage. Safety rights apply equally to everyone, period.
And failing to support this reporting culture carries massive consequences. Under the Nautipod regulations, failing to report an incident can trigger unannounced inspections from DOSH, which is the Department of Occupational Safety and Health. If an employer tries to hide an incident, they can face fines up to 50,000 ringgit or even imprisonment. It is a serious, non-negotiable legal duty, no exceptions.
So, what exactly happens after you file that report? Well, a strict life cycle kicks off to prevent it from ever happening again. Within just 1 hour, the investigation begins. By 24 hours, documented corrective actions have to be set with target completion dates. Within 48 hours, the lessons learned are shared directly with the team during shift toolbox talks. And finally, within 7 days, those crucial lessons are shared cross-site so the entire organization can learn and adapt.
Okay, let's pivot to your upcoming written assessment for Module 10.
You are definitely going to be tested on this, so let's run through a few sample questions you'll absolutely need to know. For question 1, you need to remember that Nautipod covers the notification and report of accidents, dangerous occurrences, occupational poisoning, and occupational diseases. And, super important, it is strictly required under the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1994.
Moving on to question 2, you must know that a near miss is an unplanned event that did not cause injury, but very easily could have under slightly different circumstances. So why report it? Because doing so reveals those hidden system failures way before a serious or even fatal accident actually happens.
For question 3, just recall our oily floor example. The 5 Whys is a root cause analysis tool. It solves the problem of those weak, surface-level fixes by asking why repeatedly until you hit that underlying system failure. This ensures your corrective actions actually stop the problem from ever coming back.
Also, keep in mind the actual rules for your upcoming test. Once you finish this explainer, you'll take a 10-question multiple-choice assessment. You need to score at least a 70% to pass. If you score below that, hey, don't sweat it too much, you'll just review the module and resit on a separate day. And remember, all of these results are legally required to be recorded in your personal OSHA training file.
I want to leave you with this. In Malaysia, we believe deeply in the spirit of neighborliness, semangat kejiranan. We look out for each other, right? When you step up and report a near miss, you aren't causing trouble. You are quite literally saving the next person who walks into that hazard. And you know what? That next person could be your best friend at work.
It's really up to you to be the eyes and ears of your workplace. So ask yourself, the next time you see a hazard, are you just going to walk past it? Or will you be the one to speak up and save a life? Report it. Every single time. Thank you so much for your focus today, and best of luck on your assessment.